Private log, Jack Nagumi. What's that saying? When it rains, it pours? Thankfully, yesterday wasn't the first time I'd been on a ship about to vent all its oxygen and have a reactor go critical. I guess LaSalle Bionational cares more about its colonies than its fleet. Fucking typical. Anyway, the Houston went and crashed into the surface of its destination, and here we are on a shuttle, buzzing down from orbit to see if we can recover any supplies. Because if there's anything the current rotation on New Alaska aren't going to be happy with, it'd be the double whammy of no ride home and no supplies to support our extra bellies. At least the crew LaSalle have put together seem competent enough, though I'm definitely reserving judgment for when we land on this ice ball. So here we go, time to earn our pay. Another day, another planet, another goddamn dollar.
Hello and welcome to Three Skulls Tavern. I'm Matt, your host, and we're back with episode 2 of New Alaska. That's our recap there for episode 1 that you've just watched. And I think without any further ado, I'm just going to turn it right over to our game mother, Ed. Sorry, hold on a second. It appears you're muted. Can we have somebody else talk in the group? Yep. Anyone else other than me? Hold on.
I'm here, Ed.
There we go.
I can hear it really well.
Okay, it should be back now. So sorry about that. It should be working again now.
Okay. What did I miss? So yes.
Sorry, Ed was just giving a another rundown. So, yeah.
So you've spent 24 hours in your EEV, making your way to the space station orbiting New Alaska, where you were received by a skeleton crew. By the time you'd kind of got yourself shipshape in Bristol fashion, you were all had a bit of a sleep and were taken down to the planet for, I guess, orientation. And so I'm not, as unfortunately as much as the Beaver wanted me to, I'm not going to let you role play the 24 hours that it took to maneuver your craft all the way to the space station.
So much potential for character development there.
I know, sorry. And much to everybody else's displeasure, no comment, which was mentioned in Discord, hits any of the group. So you're all fine.
Shame.
I know.
End it all.
They just didn't pay me enough. Sorry, guys. Yeah. So yes, very quickly you were brought down to the planet's surface. And on that, I have for you a brand new map. Which,
I love it.
Here we go. Let me know if it loads in.
Ah, Jesus.
Yes, the switch has to be turned on.
Is there any chance the sound effect is going to go a bit lower?
Okay. I started off a little loud just to help you.
It sounds like my brain is being invaded by a million hornets.
That's about much of the sound that you get when you arrive on the planet with New Alaska.
Don't go too far forward because it's still 10% loaded.
Not a problem.
I've got it now.
I am using Chrome, as was suggested last stream when we had so many issues, and it's not any better. I've reduced my browser count.
Rural German internet! Yay!
While the map is loading up for the rest of you, or just for one of us, you made your way down to the planet with the new rotation, which consisted of, just to remind everyone, Alana Fuentes, who is the security and survival specialist for part of the other exploration team, Andy Sullivan, one of the technicians that's part of that team, Jay Mooks, who is the team leader, Kat Turner, who is the environmental scientist, and Scott Williams, who is the roughneck and general labor for the team. You spent the 24 hours that you had, I guess, with them, and with those that managed to actually get away from the ship. The only people that seem to have stayed with the ship were the crew, and it looks like the crew went down with the ship. The general plan was that you will arrive on the planet. Once you're on the planet, you will be going to speak with the management team, who are looking to put together a rescue salvage mission, I guess, or two, of which, being the exploration team, you would take point. So yes, there's a small conversation that's had between you and the planet while you were up on board the space station, where you spoke with essentially your boss, Mr. Frank Lee, and he directed you that once you come down to the planet, that you'll have a conversation with Lizelle Martinez, who is the facility director, and the other top management of the facility. So, you spent the 24 hours on board the actual orbiting space station, just preparing, getting yourself ready, waiting for the shuttles to arrive to pick you up. There's only a few shuttles, so you have to go in sort of groups of sort of 15 or so. You basically wait your turn. You have a bit of food, kind of get cleaned up, tidied up. Whatever equipment that you had with you when you went down, when you got into your EEV, is what you have. So if you have a billion things, then you probably don't have much left.
What does that mean exactly for? Okay, right. So okay.
Well, for most of you, it's fine, apart from Hubby.
Ed, just a quick thing. If you could preload every scene that you've got now, for the other ones as well, because I'm still sitting at 80% for this map.
Yeah. Okay. Will do.
That might help. Yeah.
I'm doing that now.
Good lord.
Well, while we're waiting, just have a quick recap of everybody. Why don't we start with you, Chris? Just a quick background of your character, and just a quick 2-minute, who are you, what you're doing, that kind of thing.
Sure, yeah. I'm Chris, and I'll be playing Kit Kajtani, who's the crew's baby, I guess. This is her first deployment to anywhere outside her home planet, and she's just basically looking for money, adventure, and all sorts of growing up, getting eaten by ice worms or face huggers wasn't part of the plan, but she'll be happy to experience it, I'm sure. as for myself, can I get away with saying that I was auditioned to be the token girl, but I'm super happy to be here and so stoked to be playing with you all. So I guess anything for that.
Oh dear.
Harry,
Yes.
let's have a look. Well, discuss your character quickly.
Fair enough. Jean-Michel is a geologist who is primarily working in petrochemical and fissile materials, and is mainly employed as a sort of geologist prospector because, well, these ships all run on fusion and fission reactors, and somebody needs to find sources of uranium, and I guess it's me. It isn't the job I wanted, but it's the job we've ended up doing.
It's almost a Batman reference.
I don't think it's the job I deserve either. It is, however, the job I needed. And
You mean as in to pay the bills?
very much to pay the bills. It's it turns out, however, it seems like a lot of money up front, but it works out poorly in the long term, and this might not have been an excellent decision in life.
Cool. Thank you very much. Habib.
Yes. So Kai is a ex-Navy pilot who lost pilot status due to a unfortunate yet comedic prank stroke. He cut his hand, sort of thing. Got into logistics and quartermastering and transport with the Navy. Stayed in there. Got retired eventually, but the pension doesn't cut it. So he took on some off-road jobs with Royal Yutani, doing transport, research and containment of some of their vast areas of exploration and terraforming. And now he's jumped ship, I guess, to Lissail Bionational, doing pretty much the same, coming as logistics and vehicles.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
Habib, very quickly, your audio is really loud. Can you push your mic down? Like put your mic down? No, away from your mouth. Like really far down. Down, like toward. There you go. Say something. No, it's too quiet now. Just a little bit up. Just a fraction up.
Can you hear me now?
No, that's way too loud. That's way too loud. Now say something.
Is that better?
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Smooth professionalism.
Sorry, we normally do all these audio checks before, but there's a lot of other technical difficulties this time.
And I was late.
Difficulties.
And last but not least, Matt.
I'm Jack Nagumi. I am a corporate agent working for LaSalle Bionational, and I am a professional explorer, so think sort of Bear Grylls, maybe a little bit more cynical, and yeah. I don't really have much loyalty to the company per se, but they pay the bills, and it means I get to travel around and go to lots of different planets, which is what effectively the only thing in life I'm interested in. So yeah, I kind of like, if they're gonna, I don't want to hurt that arrangement. So yeah.
Okay. So I can see that the map is now loaded up. So welcome to New Alaska Research Station. You have landed on the main landing pad. You have come through decon and arrivals. You've made sure that you're not carrying any bugs with you. It takes sort of a couple of hours to kind of get you through all the process, and they pretty much take you straight through to the main hub of the facility. Decon and arrivals. So I'll just ping it for you. Is there? They take you through to.
I didn't see the ping. Ed, can you do it again?
I'll
It's
do
the
it again.
tiniest ping I've ever seen.
Yeah, there's like three huge maps. Which map is it? Which are the three
Um,
maps?
Top one.
Yeah, top where you start off.
Oh
top,
God!
the very top map. It's
I didn't
huge. It's a
see
big
the other
facility.
two.
Where can you ping the top map again? Sorry.
I'll ping it again. It should say decon and arrivals.
Oh, I see it
Top
now.
map, bottom right by shuttle maintenance.
Thank
There you go.
Thank you. I still don't see the ping, but yeah. Oh, there, yeah. Face
I
hugger.
hate
Okay.
the way this facility is laid out.
Mm.
It's
Yeah, that's
terrible.
not practical.
Just wait till we're running. Just wait till we're running through it with no like.
With things
power.
chasing you, and you'll be. Yeah,
Oh, that's not gonna
everything's
happen.
on fire.
That's not
No,
gonna
it'll be fine. No. So yes, you come through decon, and then you head up north towards the top of the map, through the commercial and entertainment department. You can see that there's loads of chairs and tables and couches and booths for everyone to kind of like lounge around in their off time. As you kind of come through here, there's not a lot of people, surprisingly, taking a bit of rest and recuperation. They're all kind of come to see what's happened. They're all very curious. People are asking questions. What happened to the ship? What was the cause of it? You're very quickly ushered through by security through to the main concourse, which is this large round section in the middle. And you've got plants and various other things in the middle to make it look pretty and lovely. There's a dome above it, which all you can see at the moment is snow and ice. You assume at some point the sun will peek out. You don't know when that'll be. And then you head further in to the top into operations. In operations, you will see to your right, you've got Frank Lee. Now, you've seen Frank Lee before. He has sent you a couple of, communications welcoming you to the Sal Bionational. And he's the person who has essentially employed you as expedition crew. You're met very quickly by Nasir Aziz, who is this gentleman with the glasses. He is the deputy director of the facility. Nasil Martinez, who's going to meet you as well.
Just use somebody's photo.
Nope.
No.
Nope.
Wow.
It's probably art.
Shocking.
It is.
What's it
Our
called?
breeder is
Art
incredible.
breeder. Yeah.
Nasil Martinez is the facility manager, director. Everything, the buck stops with her.
Does she have anything to do with the actual corporation itself, or is it just a?
She does. She is she's also on the board of directors for the corporation.
So she must be relative to some of the original founders.
Presumably.
You know, in general, a honcho.
Yep.
Have you got like a journal or anything with the NPCs listed in it, Ed?
I will do.
Okay. It's just a lot of names to
a-
keep track of.
It is. It is. There is a list which I can pass you. Bear with me 1 second. I will just.
The journal
I've
notes function in Foundry doesn't seem to work with
That's-
absolute
second.
ease. The journal entries
Here
on
you
the
go.
right-hand bar is sparse.
Here you go.
He has to edit
Got it.
this way. Yeah.
There
okay,
we go.
Perfect. Thank you.
Here's one I made earlier.
Yay.
Thank you.
Right, Alden, how do I get that again? I just closed it.
I've just.
A face hugger comes leaping out.
There you go. Try again.
Oh no, I've got it. But if it goes, how do I retrieve that again?
I will make it available to you later on.
All right, I'll just copy and paste it for the moment.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So this is the list of all the staff there at the station, with all the heads of the different departments for you. Pretty much as soon as you come in, everyone's kind of talking, everyone's chatting. A lot of the staff are kept out, so it's pretty much just the top management that are here with you. The other person that's joined you is Kristen Barrow, and she is the shift rotation manager. So they are the people that are kind of having a conversation with you. Very quickly afterwards, you are met by another gentleman by the name of Tyrone Larson, who is the head of security here. The first thing they do is they want to ask for everyone what happened. And so they pretty much just wait for you all to tell what you know. Because there's no one here from the ship's crew, they don't have any of that information. So pretty much yourself, Jack, and the head of the other team, Joey, are pretty much asked what you saw. Was there any kind of issues? What did you see when you ejected? And the person asking the questions is the security, the head of security, Tyrone, as opposed to the others. They're just pretty much sitting there watching and listening to what you're saying. Presumably, you will not hold anything back, and you will just tell them everything that you saw.
Still hold back.
Well,
We don't know anything.
You know nothing. That's what you don't hold back.
Yeah, we just tell them that we woke up. There was an alarm going off. We rushed as per company procedure to the proximity of our...
You mean we proceeded in an orderly fashion at a reasonable pace, taking all due caution?
Indeed. To the evacuation vehicles.
As one does.
And waited to see what was going to happen. And yeah, I made a decision to launch the EEV. Is that what it's called again?
Yeah, the EEV.
To launch the EEV, and here we are. So, which is probably a good thing because the ship has crashed. Yeah, but we don't actually know. We could say like we saw that it was venting probably some sort of coolant, or it could have been a gas that was going liquid when it was subjected to the low temperatures of space. We don't know. It was venting something that was turning into a solid as it was leaving the ship, and it was clearly had lost control. It was spinning, right?
Yeah,
spinning on an axis. So that's what we know.
Okay. So they fill you in that the people that were actually on board was the captain, Ezekiel Jones, the first officer, the navigations officer, the first engineer, the medical officer, and the corporate liaison officer. There was also, it turns out that one of the medical technicians wasn't on board one of the EVPs, and neither was the shift leader, Chris Hayward, who was one of the mining engineer shift leaders. But everybody else managed to get out.
Oh, bugger. Has there been any news from the crash site? Any survivors? Anything?
So they have they've looked at the last known data before it went off their radar for all intents and purposes, and they've extrapolated trajectory and where they think they will have crashed, which is quite far to the north, and so they have decided that the best thing to do would be as soon as possible to get some snowcats out there and go and have a look. And really, as the two exploration team members, or the most exploration teams is yourselves, that you're going to start your job pretty early. So you are indeed going to earn that dollar very quickly. Lascelles Bionational obviously is very concerned, but they're not. Well, that's what Lascelles says. Lascelles said that the problem that we have really is that a lot of our supplies for the upcoming rotation were on board that ship. And so without that, they reckon the next nearest supply ship will probably take about 3 months to get here.
What's the atmospheric conditions like? We can't get a flatbed there at all, even flying low.
Not at the present moment. Unfortunately, the winds and everything else will not allow it. We've just managed to land them before this very large blizzard came in.
And how far north are we talking?
We are currently talking somewhere in the region of about 500 odd miles.
Jeez.
500 odd kilometers,
Wow.
sorry, not miles.
And what cats you got? Series 3000?
Indeed. We
We
do have a mining station about halfway through, so that would be a good place to stage from. And that is currently approximately 250 kilometers away.
Okay. What's the terrain like? Favorable or not?
It's not favorable. It's going to be slow going. You've got crevasses, you've got drifts. It's everything you particularly don't want to have at this current moment in time. But
So, say cautious, 15, 20 kilometers tops, 250. So we're talking really about 15 hours driving to get to the point.
Yep. But that's
Two
okay.
separates?
Yes, so what we have actually established is that just before we lost contact, they ejected and jettisoned the lower parts of the cargo base, which had all of the storage units in. So we would assume that some of them have gone that way. So we've made a decision that your team, Jack, will make your way to the crash site and see if you can find any survivors. And the other team will take the, well, I guess everything else.
What do we got? 2 cats per team or 1?
It'll be 1 cat per team. We have 3 cats. 1 is down for maintenance at the moment.
I hate to bring it up, but our team doesn't have a dedicated medic.
Elizabeth says, "Sir, I can fill that role for you."
Well, I suppose then. Got everything we need, don't we?
In my experience, a synthetic always makes the best medic. Very reliable when things get a little bit hairy.
Yeah.
Thank you
And they're
very
not
much,
Spanish.
Jack. No, we're not.
So,
All right, well,
can I just
Sounds
confirm
good.
our crew is the 4 of us plus Elizabeth, and that's it, right?
Indeed, that's it.
Yeah.
The cats themselves won't necessarily take more than a crew of 6, so
Okay. All right.
for any extended period of time, anyway.
you got a maintenance log on the cats?
Yes, we can get that arranged for you.
So
Very
if they
thorough.
only can carry a complement of 6, and there's 5 of us, what happens if we? I mean, I'm assuming we're going to be looking for survivors too, right?
You are. You will be able to push it, but obviously it's not. It's only going to take you what we say a maximum 24 hours to get to the mining station, and then another 24 hours to get there. So that's 2 days. I guess you can push it. You can take extra supplies with you. It will be cramped, but
Well, I'm thinking more like, are there any? How many snowcats are there in total?
there are 3.
And maybe we should put skeleton crews in each of them, just so we've got plenty of space if we do find any survivors.
If they're not being used for surveying or geological work, then we can clear the crap out of the back of them, and you'll get
Yeah.
the 4 people in the back. It won't be comfy, but a couple of air beds.
Our priority
and-
has to be on recovering people, and anything
We
else
can do
that crash. So, I'm kind of. I think I'm going to be saying this directly to the facility people and say, and we need to get moving as quickly as possible because we need to, if there is anyone still alive there, the clock's ticking.
So
I mean-
yes, I agree.
If there's really all 8 people surviving, and we could totally save them, and have I guess have Kai drive them back to the mining station, and the rest of us stick it out there and see what else we can salvage from the ship, I guess. And then he can come pick us up the next day.
Works.
Sure, that would work.
Yeah, that's true.
I hope it doesn't come to that.
Well, I
like
do
the way you
hope
think.
there's more than, just 1 or 2 survivors, but
Hope it doesn't
I
come
guess chances are.
to be missing out on all the action because he's driving back and forth.
I could roleplay by myself quite happily.
Welcome to Free League's Space Bus Driver Simulator.
Some of the best adventures I've had is when I've gone off party.
So what they do is they give you a lot of equipment. The equipment that I've really put into your character sheets is some of the equipment you wish. If there's anything you would like to get out of the stores, you can do. They happily supply you with extra medical equipment, extra blankets, extra of anything that you would think you would need for a rescue operation.
Yeah. All right. Sure.
We
We take everything that they can spare. Obviously, supplies are.
Yep.
They're at the end of their rotation. Spares are going to be a little bit
Indeed.
sparse, so we'll take whatever they can spare, and we'll say, well, if we need as much as we can for any survivors we find. If worst case scenario there are no survivors, we'll make sure to bring it all back. Yeah.
Well, what are we going to use it for? I mean, of course we're going to bring it back.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
As you're talking, the lights start to flicker, and the heating units start to flicker, and then they come back on again. And everyone kind of looks around, and Frank says, "We have one other problem, but we were waiting for an upgrade on the new mother system because ours is starting to get on the fritz, and that's going to be on board the ship. Otherwise, hopefully we'll be able to stick it out before then. Otherwise, this place is going to change to a bit of a deep freeze. So no pressure on getting anything back to us. But welcome to New Alaska, by the way. You're definitely going to be earning your pay. And I think we might be able to work out some kind of bonus situation.
Oh, that's nice.
Right. I'm not gonna hold you up any longer. I just wanted to say thank you very much for getting down here as quick as you can, and sorry that this is turned straight into a rescue mission, and you didn't have more time to acclimatate yourself to New Alaska. Without further ado, I guess Frank will take you to the maintenance bays where the cats are being stored, and you can have a look over yourself and see what you want to find.
Let's get on it, eh?
Yeah, for sure. I guess one question I wanted to ask you is, how does the gravity feel here in the kind of the research base?
In the facility, it feels a little bit heavier, but nothing that you would expect. It just feels,
There's like a slight increase in.
There's a slight
gravity.
Increase, but nothing major.
So I'll kind of be informing people as we're getting ready that just bear in mind when we get out there, it's going to feel suddenly like someone's sitting on your shoulders, pressing you down.
Mm-hmm.
So just be aware of that. Don't panic, because I doubt there's going to be any kind of gravity, anti-gravity tech on the snowcats, right?
No, I mean, the ape suits will help a little bit. They'll make you feel a little bit stronger, which will counteract, but it will still feel like you're wearing lead boots and a rucksack.
Yeah. Cool. Let's go. Let's get our stuff and
I suppose we better hand.
So there are 3 snowcats available, right?
There are. Your team's going to take one. Joey's team's going to take one, and then that leaves another snowcat that has got some maintenance issues. It is usable, but they wouldn't recommend taking it for long distances.
500 kilometers probably counts as a long distance, right?
Yeah, it does. Well, unless you feel that you might, if it does break down, you'd have to fix it on the ray. If you think that's something you might be able to do, but then you'd have to take all your kit with you to fix it.
Yeah. Okay, it's probably not worth the risk, to be honest.
Anyone even ready to fix it apart from me?
Yeah. So
that's the point I was. I'd like to talk to you about Kai. Can you just I've never seen one of those guys. But I guess you can just have a look under the hood with me real quick.
I'll give you all the walking tour if you want, because you all need to know it.
Yep.
Well, let me introduce you to the snowcat.
That's a beauty.
Look at all those tires.
And the rally stripe.
So,
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, what we have here is a Series 3000 multi-purpose ATV cat series. This one is Arctic environment designed, so we've got the modifications for that. Very ingenious system, actually, of the hot water and coolant running through the chassis to keep everything warm. There's a lot of redundancy, and it's great for geological surveying stuff. This baby will pretty much go anywhere, as you can see. I've driven them, I've fixed them, I've broken them. They're very, very reliable pieces of kit. He kind of walks them around, shows them the ingress and egress points, control stations, external control stations, supply points, check-in locations, goes through the standard kind of manipulator arm and self-recovery kits, as well as the repairs and gas bags for the suspension struts. Checks the lights, gets in, checks the life support, starts firing everything up, showing people the starting sequence, and it drives either in two methods, standard forward, backwards, left and right, or as a skid steer if you want that for slow speeds. Maximum approach angle is about 43 degrees, unless you want to try and play away for a snowdrift. Crevasses it will cross about 3 meters laterally, as long as you've got solid ice on either side. Its biggest bitch point is it can be wide. So we'll have to see what we get like with any ice juts and stuff like that. But you couldn't want for a nicer beast to go out there in. And oh yeah, here's the toilet.
Very important. Where was the toilet again? I'm just looking at the
So
label.
the forehalf, where all our faces are, is essentially your living quarters and transportation quarters, and you've got personal stowage as well as a reclining seat.
Yeah.
It's about, equivalent of premium economy on an airliner. There is an individual data terminal into each place, and the first two seats are essentially co-pilot seats. One's normally for a navigator, one's normally for external systems operator. The central section there can act as a hard airlock as well. You've got two pods in there, med pods that double up as a lavatory and sanitation unit, and the back end is normally for surveying and geological work. But, and he kind of like pulls a few latches and clanks a few bolts, throws that box out, asks someone to get a power loader to clear that out, and you'll see that in there we can weld a couple of chairs to the floor, and we'll have enough seating for 6 more people. It won't be great, but it'll be doable.
Yeah, it'll keep them alive. That's the main thing.
Yeah, it's been 24 hours, it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Good thing you've got someone who helped design this on board.
Okay.
So yes, that will be your home for the next few days.
Well,
I like it.
Here for a while.
Yeah, it doesn't come in pink anymore though.
That's all right.
Those are older models, I suppose.
Yeah, the focus group didn't like it at all.
I don't know why.
Amazing. And thank you very much, Habib, for designing it.
No worries, it was fun.
Tony's
Testing was great.
Tony's just asked in chat if it's acid resistant. Asking for a friend.
No, but it's thick enough to last.
I think it is a common concern that you would encounter just lakes of acid on any frozen planets.
Well, as you do.
Corrosion resistant, let's say that.
Oh yeah, corrosion resistant, sure. All right.
Right.
Filled with confidence.
Just
5-year anti-perforation guarantee.
Let's see if we can tax Matt's.
Well, it loaded that snowcat map page instantly, so I think.
I preloaded the screen, so Let me see if my other preloaded map will work really quickly as well.
Yep, it did
Absolutely.
instantly.
There we go.
Oh look,
Ooh.
here's the planet Permafrost.
Whoa.
Okay, nice.
So you have your research facility at the bottom.
Beautiful territory. That's a straight line, flat.
It is. It's pretty good, isn't it? You've got
Maybe
the.
a river bed or something? Or
Glacier.
oh
You
yes,
do.
of course.
You have the remote mining station, which all those who would like to know about it. It is a secondary mining site nicknamed the Freezer because of the ability where woods come off of the glacier, which is off to the west of it. Most of the time, it's not used. They basically send a maintenance crew up there every now and then to keep the lights on and the thing from stop carrying a freezer itself. And that's about 250 kilometers away. And then further up from that is the crash site. It looks like the crash site itself is actually wedged in between two glaciers. So, with that in hand, you make your way to, I guess, the mining station.
Yeah. Look at the maintenance log, make sure everything's been done as it should be done, give it the cursory glance over.
Let me
got
guess, now you're going to
confidence.
kick the tires?
Wouldn't you?
Did you know? Yeah, get under it, have a quick look for the common faults, but make sure we've got our
I don't suppose it's got a CD player, does it?
model bridges and stuff like that. It's got an H-track.
Of course.
It's that old.
Amazing. So you get everything prepared, and you set out for the remote mining station. The other team are also going to be heading in the same direction, so you're pretty much going to be in a convoy until you get to the remote mining station. You communicate with each other. That's not a problem. But as soon as you
focus on any beacons or anything like that, because, or is there anything for us? Well, probably won't get it now because of
yes, there is a beacon that takes us to the remote mining station.
No, sorry, I meant for the ship itself because they said they dropped the cargo pods. Have they got it?
No.
Okay.
They're going to have to actually search for it.
Damn cheap company.
Gonna do some mass effecting.
Cost.
Sounds like.
Oh yes.
We got survey equipment or advanced optics or anything we can use to aid us in that. Thermal. Or
Did
something
have
else, I guess,
survey
why
equipment, but you chucked it out the back of the lorry.
not? So, can we? That was survey equipment for geology, not surface anomalies, surely.
Yes, Jean-Michel has some pups which he can use, and he could probably, if someone has got some kind of comtech to re-twig them, you could do.
I think Elizabeth said she had contact.
She does.
Look, these are pretty expensive. Like, the company will gut me if these get broken.
But what if one helps you find Mother or a survivor?
Uh,
There's a bonus there for sure.
all right, but I want it in writing that I thought this was not that great of an idea.
It says, "I'm sure it'll all be fine. Don't worry."
It's my arse.
And she plays with it, and is successful.
We've all got at least one point in Comtech, which is interesting. Jean-Michel's probably our best Comtech, I think. Is what I just... Oh no, Elizabeth.
Is there a group collective role that can be made?
You could, maybe one could potentially help.
You can do
by
help,
kind of being,
help roles.
Yeah. But I mean, yeah, if you were doing something on a bigger scale, then yes, more of you could help. But pretty much only one other person can really mess around with these sort of things.
Okay.
So yes, you arrange everything, and is there anything else you particularly want to do before you head off? are you very keen to get out of here?
Just make
I
sure we've
am.
got 3 times the supplies we need to get there and back.
Yep.
And enough stuff for 8 emergency first aid or kind of stasis items, whether it's drugs to put them in a coma or clothes or survival pods or whatever else the current tech is to get 8 people back.
Sure. That's fine.
I'm sure tinfoil blankets probably wouldn't hurt.
That old stuff, yeah. And yeah, your typical emergency survival rations, flares, whatever else we can throw in the back.
Sure, that's not a problem. Yeah, it seems, that you get yourself sorted, ready to go. By taking the extra food, you are dwindling the supplies of the actual base, but getting them back is priority. So while you're all doing that, Jack, you are asked to come and meet with Giselle Martinez, the facility director, and Nasir Aziz, the deputy facility director.
Okay. Yeah, I'll go meet with them.
So, you're also there with Jerry. They sit you down over a cup of coffee in horrendously small cups, little plastic 80s cups. And they sit you down and say, look, we appreciate that we need to rescue as many people as we can, but that will be a secondary mission to what we actually want. The Houston was carrying Mother, the new Mother upgrade, and that is the most important thing we need. So
Understood.
if you have to make a decision, and unfortunately you do not have enough space, then I'm afraid I will leave that to yourselves to make the decision on who you'd be leaving behind.
Understood. Absolutely.
And obviously, as you said, there'll be a bonus in it for you if you can bring everyone back.
Everyone and everything, I assume.
Indeed.
Yeah.
That would be ideal.
Well, we'll see. We can't promise anything. We don't know what it's going to look like when we get down there, but we'll do our best. Understood about priorities. I'll look over at Joey and just kind of cock an eyebrow at him.
He pretty much does the same thing back. Kind of shrugs his shoulders a little bit. He doesn't sort of say yes or no.
Yeah.
And so they have a brief discussion about where it potentially is. So it was actually being stored with the other Mother module on board the ship, which is where you need to get it from. And more importantly, without that, they potentially could lose all the data that they've been storing here for the last few years, which is a priority for them.
Yeah. So Jack's my thinking is you don't ever debate these things with middle management in the company, because it's just like beating your head against a brick wall. So you just say yep, and then you do your own thing.
Yep.
I understand what your priorities are. Great.
Yep. They pretty much send you on your way. They don't let you hang around too long because they realize you've got to go out and do your thing.
Yeah.
So yes.
Sorry, but this is probably not the right moment to ask this, but it just occurred to me, at the freezer station, is there anything there? I mean, like emergency supply wise or something?
Yes, you speak to a couple of the people there. There are. So Dave Moore, who is the foreman of the mining operation, he says yes, there is minimal supplies there. We usually keep some just in case.
Because I mean, when it comes to the question of what can we salvage, who can we rescue, and it is only half a day's drive. I mean, if we know what we're doing and the conditions are okay. This doesn't strike me as very much of a concern.
Yeah. There, as I said, there is supplies there. Technically, I mean, it has been known that the facility has been in lockdown there for 3 weeks.
Why is that?
Because of the environmental conditions.
Right. Okay.
We've not been able to get there. So at the moment, it's rough, but it's not that bad yet.
All right.
So the facility is what? It's just shut down and awaiting people to come to it? And
It is, yes. They pretty much keep a pilot light on. It's primarily for mining, and so it's mining of some of the rarer minerals, and we only do that when the company directs us to do that. Otherwise, it stays pretty much mostly offline for a lot of the time.
when was the last time anybody was there?
He looks at the logs, says about 4.5 months.
So the place is likely to be an icebox then?
It will be. You'll have to turn it on.
Quite all right. Just if we're shipping survivors off to there, we'll probably want to get it warmed up first.
Oh yeah, so if you're going to be there to start with, then I guess you warm it up and then make your way to the crash site, pick them up, bring them back. Hopefully by the time you come back, it'll be nice and warm and cozy for you.
Yeah, it makes no point staying there. We'll go there, switch it on, keep moving on. Who else is started to drive, by the way?
We're only taking 2 cats, snow cats, so it'll be somebody from the other.
No,
Elizabeth.
but we yeah, okay, sorry, because they're going to go off in one direction, we're going to go off to a slightly different direction, aren't they? Once we go past the remote mining station.
Right.
Right.
Never hurts to have redundancy.
We'll just do 4-hour rotations of driving. Any tricky stuff I'm happy to take, Elizabeth, but there's no point stopping.
Yep, that's fine. I'm happy to do that. And if you need to rest, then of course I will continue to drive.
Fine. I say we get to the remote mining station as soon as possible, start to switch it on. Do we have a protocol for that, please?
Yes, they've downloaded it to your PDAs.
Perfect. We'll set that going and then head right off again. If it's not viable or it's not warm enough by the time we come back, then we'll just head straight on back to here.
Sure, that seems like a plan.
Well, I suppose there's nothing for it but to actually just get on the road then.
Indeed.
She's fully fueled and ready to go.
Joey says, I guess we'll follow you, shall we?
Go.
All right, kids,
Let's go.
pick your 8-track. We've got the choice of 2 film soundtracks, and they're both children's films.
Can you feel the love tonight? That's
Not that one.
That's not 8-track era, is it?
That's a good question.
Not quite.
Well, in my last game, we had the choice of Taylor Swift and something even worse. I forget, Britney, maybe?
Oh.
So I'd be happy with that.
You shut your slandering mouth. Leave Brittany alone.
Record 56k dial-up on 8-hour loop repeat.
Great.
Oh, yeah.
That just sounds like exactly the white noise we need to drive us all mad.
Right, you make your way out into the freezing cold of New Alaska. If you want to make a piloting roll.
Yeah, this is where I screw up my only one strong skill. Oh, it's gonna be fun.
You'll love it.
Absolutely. Right, so I'm just doing the right click on my skill in the character sheet. No base or stress modifiers.
Nope.
If there's no modifiers, you can just left click on it and it'll just roll instantly.
Boom. I've got a cock die.
2 successes.
Nice.
Not bad.
What do you mean you got a cocked die?
It looked like one was crooked. 6 and a 3. I mean, I
Did
don't
we-
see how that's possible.
Did you have
but-
stress?
Any stress that you've had,
Oh, it's gone.
You can
Yeah.
you can clear it.
I think we all took
Lovely.
some stress, didn't we?
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
I should think so.
Let's clear that.
You've had plenty of time to rest and relax,
Yeah.
so you can clear all your stress. I'll give you some more by the end of the night. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yes, you make a auspicious start.
Oh wait, hold on a second. Because if I'll get +2 pilot modifier.
It's fine.
Whatever, doesn't matter.
You've pretty much done it, so that's okay. And yes, you start your journey towards the north, following the ping that you're getting from the remote mining station. Yeah, you can't really see where you're going. Visiting is about half a foot, and so you are slowly crawling your way north.
Yeah, I mean, the radar will ping out hard surfaces, but I imagine there's lots of piling through snow drifts and bumping up and down and stuff like that.
Yep. You're fairly safe for sort of the first sort of like 50, 60 kilometers. This has all been really kind of well mapped. And so you've got a 3-dimensional map to kind of help you along your way. As soon as you hit sort of like 60 kilometers, it starts to get a little trickier. And yeah, it starts to slow down a little bit. At about 110 kilometers, you start to see movement through the instrumentation. There's actually things boring through the snow, it appears.
Okay.
There's sort of about anywhere between 9 and 15 foot long.
Right. Okay. Are they on the path ahead, or?
No, they're sort of like, well, some of them ahead, they kind of bore into the snow, and then, yeah.
I point out the local wildlife, like a dolphin watching on a boat joining.
You do indeed. And these are the local ice worms.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I've heard a lot about them.
I don't
Yeah,
think they get
there's-
much bigger than that.
They are the predominant predator on the planet.
They're pretty gross.
They are. Perhaps maybe we can show you what they look like. What do you think? Let's have a look. Let's put one next to your ship, shall we?
Oh,
Next to your
no.
ship, which you think, as you drive by one.
Chug, 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 chug.
Where am I looking?
1 second. Let me get it for you.
Oh,
That didn't quite work.
nearly.
It's a polar bear.
It's a polar bear.
Well, technically it's not. It's only got 4 paws.
Bugger me, that's quite a paw print.
That was quite a paw print. Let me just. Here we go.
I'm not seeing
Nice.
anything. I'm not seeing anything.
You're not part of the cool gang,
Mongolian
that's why.
depth worm.
Thank you.
Can you see that yet?
Yeah.
Welcome to Alaska.
And once
you
you
very-
stroke them,
Thank you very much, Harry, for that.
good job, mate.
Yeah,
They're
it
not
looks
fuzzy.
great.
It looks.
It's a fuzzy
I
patch
really
just
love
beneath the chin.
Quilted
I'm sure I-
jackets.
I'm sure I supplied you a much higher resolution image than that.
You did. I just put that down as the image of the iceberg to start with. I do have a
It's
bigger one for you,
gorgeous.
but, you know.
Yeah, I know. I should design more Arctic jackets.
I agree.
The colour scheme's on point as well. I'm loving
Isn't
that
it?
kind of charcoal grey and the white.
Yep, grey, white, silver, and bright damned orange.
It almost reminds me of the Hoff
I was gonna say,
scene
just like my
and
school
Hans jacket.
backpack in the 80s.
It's a very German backpack for sure.
I'm trying to figure out whether Jean-Michel is trying to take a picture of it.
It does look like he might.
Hmm.
He might be trying to take a photo of it.
He's lining up for a selfie, that's for sure.
Wrong angle for a selfie.
No, because you're going to be in it.
Yeah, like
I'm not turning my back on that.
Watch this. Watch this. Just wait. Any minute now.
crikey, that's a beauty. Let's see if I can fit my entire arm down its gullet.
Yeah, so the trip is quite bumpy. You do kind of get to look out the windows and see a lot of white, and hopefully get a glimpse of one of these ice worms, but you don't really. The wind is howling. It's sleeting and snowing, and on top of that, according to the instrumentation, there's high levels of sulfur in the air from the volcanoes that have been erupting. It's great.
What's the temperature outside now?
It's a balmy minus 39 degrees centigrade.
It's not too bad.
So it's not bad, actually.
That's actually quite pleasant for this place.
The wind chill, however.
With the wind chill, yeah, it's a little bit higher than that.
I heard this story about an Arctic researcher who had discovered the joys of just holding a pat of butter in one hand and using a knife to just peel slices off like an apple to eat them in, because in this kind of temperature, that becomes very appealing.
Sorry, was that a peel pun?
Bum. We're here all night.
Really, no.
Oh.
No.
Shame. I quite like the idea of peeling the butter to find something even more juicy underneath.
Melted butter.
So you're kind of shooting the breeze and chatting while you're driving. You drive for sort of a good sort of like 6 hours or so. Could you make an endurance roll for me?
For all of us?
No, just Kai, who's driving.
All right.
Endurance is
stamina.
on stamina.
Stamina, yeah.
I don't have stamina, so I will just do a roll.
Yep.
What's that mean? I'm tired.
No, it's fine.
Okay. I will be conscious that it's 6 hours has passed though, and I will, while it is easy-ish going, I'll switch out for Elizabeth.
Yep.
Had to flip over the 8-track 15 times.
Yeah. Definitely time to sit down and that's it.
Yep. And he basically goes into one of the seats behind everyone else, tilts it a little bit, tips it back, and puts his hood over his eyes.
Yep. So you have some time to kill as you as Elizabeth is driving. Something you want to do. You're just happy to kind of just sit around and wait. Anything particular?
I'm going to get out my my little comic book and kind of flip through it idly.
Mm-hmm. You oddly get a sense of calm and.
Oh, there goes my stress point.
Yeah. It kind of helps center you a little bit when you read the very well thumbed comic. You're pretty much left with your own thoughts if you want. There's, I guess, gear to kind of get ready for things. If anyone's wanting to read the PDA on how to start up a remote mining station, you can do that.
I imagine I'll probably be reading anything that we've got on PDAs or wherever.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fine.
There's some little things to tinker with. I think I prefer that over reading. Little things to clean and grease and get in order and unpack and repack and that sort of thing.
Yeah, the first couple of hours were exciting, and we're going on something. After sort of like 8-9 hours, it's kind of just like, right, I need to sleep. It's dull. It's while it's relatively warm in here at a balmy sort of like 8 or 9 degrees. It is mind-numbingly dull. You obviously need to sleep and rest, and which is difficult to do because the whole thing's jostling around and bumping, and you hit snowdrifts or you kind of hit hard ice, and that kind of like jostles everybody. It's what you call a pleasant experience. You keep going. Right. Could someone please roll 1 second. Can someone roll me 66? as a resource.
I will. Sure.
Cool.
Any idea how I do that?
Yeah.
Is it like
I guess.
/R 2d6?
Yeah, I think that's it.
I'll just do that. It'll add them up. Should show us both of the.
I think you can do 6D, can it? Or
So, a 4 and a 3.
no,
43.
carry on. No, carry on. Just another 2 more dice, please.
Yeah. Okay. I'm counting the ones to the left as the first digit when they're rolling on the table.
Yeah. Okay.
66.
Excellent. Just exactly what I wanted. Right.
Shit.
You're you're all sort of like slipping into it, sort of like about 13 hours in, and there is an almighty crunch as the whole of the vehicle is suddenly lurched off to the side. If anyone's not strapped in or anything like that, they go flying off their seat. And the whole vehicle starts to tip onto its side.
Is Elizabeth driving?
She is. And as it does that, it teeters before it then falls back on its wheels. And everything shudders and shakes. The things that are kind of like in sort of like the overhead compartments are kind of like coming out. And there's this horrible grinding noise that suddenly happens.
Kai sort of balances that point out, wait for it to tip out before he kind of gets up and staggers to Elizabeth, grabs the back of the seat over the shoulder, kind of looks at the instrumentation. What happened?
Fuck's sake. I seem to have hit something.
Where?
Towards the front. I think we'll have to go outside.
No, wait. He taps a couple of panels and gets the undercarriage camera up. Can you see it from that angle?
You can. There is a piece of metal that seems to kind of be protruding from the snow and ice, which is sort of like angled upwards, and you seem to have just hit it in just the wrong place.
Has it impaled anything, or just?
It doesn't look like it's impaled anything. It's probably scratched the paintwork.
Okay. He's back a bit, Elizabeth.
She starts to do that
very, very gently, and while he's doing that, he adjusts the kind of suspension controls to kind of angle the front of the thing up a little bit to get it back out and clear.
Yep.
Until we can either angle around go around or look at it. What the fuck is a big chunk of metal like that doing up here?
Buried
It's
in
not
the
part of
snow.
the wreckage, is it?
It might be.
Start looking around. See if there's any kind of telltale grey patches or dimples or anything.
Yeah, you start looking around, but it doesn't. You obviously have to get outside to have a look at it. From the camera angles, you can't actually see.
I'll go have a
well
look.
enough.
I'll go have a look.
Take someone with you. Don't go out alone.
I'll look at.
Should
Kit
I
and
go and
Jean-Michel.
you stay in here?
No, I'm used to these conditions, so yeah. Someone, I just want to look at Jean-Michel and Kit.
Yep. Yeah, I'll go.
Okay.
Frankly, I need to stretch my legs. My arse is going entirely to sleep.
That was what I was thinking too.
All right, we'll go out.
Anything to get out of here
I mean,
for
you can both come.
10 minutes.
I mean, there's nothing stopping us all coming. You want to go and see some really, really cold snow?
Do we have like visor cams?
Do you have visor cams?
Yeah, the ape suit does.
Sure. Yeah, you do.
Cool. So I'll switch them. So get them all switched on so that
Start bringing up the
Kai
feeds or whatever.
and Elizabeth can see what we're seeing.
Okay.
And then
that's brilliant.
go out one of the side doors. Doesn't really matter
Okay.
which one, I don't think, because we're going to be just looking under the snowcat as it kind of reverses off of it, and then looking what we can see.
Yeah. So you go into the airlock part, open the door out the back. Or did you say you're going through the side door?
I guess if the kind of main exits and entrances out the back, then we'll use the back. That's fine.
Yeah, I guess you can definitely, because you've got the
Back doors are a climate control. Side doors are like indoors, I guess, or emergency.
Yeah, more emergency.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you make your way out. You open the door. As soon as you open the door, this howl of wind and snow and everything else just comes piling through, and it's just really loud, and everything starts to get wet. And the ramp comes down, and you make your way into the snow. As soon as you kind of get off the ramp, the snow is sort of like knee high depth. You're on sort of like an ice shelf, and you're in sort of like the lee of the drift. So it's actually not as deep as you think it was going to be. And you make your way around. As soon as you go out, you suddenly feel this pressure kind of pushing down on your shoulders, and you're sort of like, oh right, okay, that takes a lot more effort than you thought it would take. Even with the suit and the environmental suit, it's still a bit of a struggle. And then you start to move your way around the vehicle. If all of you please could make survivor rolls, then you get +3 to add to your
Okay.
So you right click on survival, and then you add a +3 to your base modifier.
Yep. Jack, not a problem. Oh dear, Kit.
Yeah, I wonder if I might want to push that.
Go on, push it.
Oh!
Could go wrong.
Oh yes.
Could go wrong indeed. Oh no.
And that success is ignored when a stress is rolled, it ignores any successes too.
Does that mean there's
yeah.
9 people to be rescued?
First day on the planet. There we go.
What do you think the blinking red light means?
But you do have to roll stress now. So if you open your character sheet,
Yep.
there's the stress button at the top right. You can click on it, and that'll roll your stress.
Oops.
Oh, yeah.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness.
What the hell?
So we're all getting stressed now. Okay.
Excellent.
Well, no, just Harry, or I should say Jean-Michel and I are gaining 1 stress.
Yep. You suddenly start to panic, and you're like, you realise that you kind of like put your leg has kind of like gone into a snowdrift, and there's obviously a deeper part, and you kind of sink sort of up to your sort of like chest height, and you suddenly realise that the breathing is kind of like really close in. You can suddenly feel the cold creeping into you. You suddenly start to panic and you sort of like flail around. As you're flailing around, you think that the snow is kind of like getting into your suit because you're getting really cold, sort of under your armpit, which kind of like makes you kind of do that. As soon as you see that, both of you also start to
like, oh.
And then you start like worrying that she's gonna,
be eaten by an ice worm right there.
Yeah.
Jack,
I'll kind of rush over and
come give me a
help her.
hand. Let's get a one arm.
Put me out! Put me out! Put me out!
Calm
chill
down,
out,
love.
chill
Take
out.
a deep breath.
It's fine. We got you.
All
We've got you. We've got you.
Yes.
All right. We'll pull you
Just-
out.
Pull her out, bring her back into the snowcat.
Yeah.
So you can sit down
It's just-
inside.
It's just a
And
deep-
as I realize nothing happened, I am like so embarrassed. I will never live this down. Oh, my first day, and I screwed up so bad. Oh my goodness, they're all gonna hate me now.
We're professionals.
Oh, they're
it'll be
never
fine.
gonna let me do anything anymore. No.
Well, look,
Oh.
on the bright side, love, you didn't
Worst
shit
day
yourself.
ever. That's what
Could
you
have been
think.
worse.
Oh no.
God.
I'm bringing shame to my mom.
Are you going to stay with her, or are you going to go back outside?
back outside. I mean, we've
Back
still
outside.
got to
We
do
need
the thing, don't
yeah,
we?
we gotta. Yeah.
I shoo them away because I'm too embarrassed to face anybody for like the next 10 hours.
Yeah.
Solid.
Yeah, you both get back outside and make your way around.
Yeah, make yourself useful. Come back in here and get on his monitors.
Get on the coffee machine. we're going to.
Empathy 2. We're trying to help, though.
Yeah, no, you're right. Give me something to do. Take my mind out that embarrassment.
Yep. So you basically gonna do that while the other two go around the side. Yeah, you kind of keep an eye out for ice worms. So,
It's all right. They can't be that big.
it can't be that big. I'm sure it'll be fine.
The company would have told us, right, if there would be a problem.
Exactly. That's not a problem. You blindly don't care about it. It's fine. Yes, you kind of look around. You can't see anything. You make your way to the front of the vehicle. Yeah, you both can see this large pitted metal piece of, well, big, large industrial piece of metal sticking out of the ice and the snow. You kind of get a bit closer. Do either of you have any kind of experience with various types of spacecraft in any way, shape, or form?
Absolutely hee-haw.
But
I do have a good observation skill.
Ooh.
Yeah. Kind of same here. My observation, I think, is pretty good. I've got a 3 in observation.
Yeah. Okay.
Not hugely. I've been on lots of spacecraft. I've not really.
We don't really spend a lot of time
Prepared
looking
them.
at the outsides of them.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Why don't you make an observation roll with a minus? We'll call it -1 difficulty.
Ah!
Cool.
That's right. Never mind.
Sorry, I was trying to do the thing.
Yeah, I panicked. I've got some stress.
Okay. Yep. You're. Well, we'll see what's wrong with you.
I guess you probably noticed what the problem is.
Yeah. Oh! That's fine.
Okay, I'm keeping it together, so that's fine.
Okay.
Professional.
But,
At least one of us is.
Which is another point of panic. Another point of stress. Yep. Okay. You have a look, and it doesn't look like it should be from your vessel. You kind of get a little bit closer, and you have to kind of clear away some of the snow, and you realize that actually, that as soon as you're clearing away the snow, it's quite difficult because everything's kind of blizzarding around you. But you realize that the actual piece of ice goes deeper into the ice. The piece of metal goes deeper into the ice than you would expect. And underneath the ice, as you're kind of clearing it away, there's more of a vessel.
Wow.
Or more of a part of a vessel, I should say.
Guy speaks up on the intercom. Guys, if this is not anything for us to be immediately concerned about, we should mark it with the beacon. Carry on. We can look at it later.
Yes, it's a spacecraft. It's quite a lot of one.
Hold your head still. Hold your head still a second. Look down a little bit. Look right a little bit.
My right or your right?
They're both the same right now.
Yeah, look at that. Yeah,
it's a fucking big piece of metal. Let's go.
Well, yes. I mean, if we're going to simplify it, yes.
As you're doing that, you notice, Jean-Michel, that there is a small logo just buried underneath the ice, or a part of an logo just underneath the ice. You could get to it. You'd have to chip away at it for like 2 or 3 minutes, you reckon? But you could probably get to see part of it, or alternatively, you can get back into the snow cap. And,
What's the matter?
Hang on, folks. Let me just leave this one up to fate. Odds I'm doing it. Evens I'm not doing it.
Okay.
All right. Well, there we go. Righto. Well, there's a logo down there, but seeing as you want me back on the bus, I suppose I don't have time to clear up the ice. So
Great.
yeah, how do we mark it? I guess we
I'll
just
throw a beacon out.
Yeah.
We've got
There
some.
must be-
We'll have some tools
must be
in the
some
back.
sort.
Some in the back to kind of like
There must be some sort of something.
clear ice or something, surely, because we're on an ice planet.
I'll
Yeah.
figure it out. There must be some kind of navigational beacon marker,
Yeah, you could do that. Yeah.
whatever. I'll put it together as these guys are getting themselves back in, and we can plunk it in. It's been
Yep.
sitting here frozen for the past God knows how long. Ain't gonna make a difference. Whether
It'll
we go
bloody
in
keep.
or later.
All right.
But
Yeah.
the fact that you're saying that it's a logo and not a logo that I recognize
Mhm.
means that it's an unusual logo. It's not LaSalle Bionational, for one.
It is not.
Hmm.
It's a long drive. Take some pictures.
Yep.
Maybe you can figure it out on the way.
Got a good point.
Okay. And then, a couple of hours later, you're making your way to the station.
All right.
Yeah.
What do you suppose? I mean, it can't be the first time that a ship has crashed on this planet, right? Ships crash on planets all the times.
Sure.
If the TV's anything to go by.
Not without extensive records and notes being made. I mean, you said it was quite a sizable piece, right?
Yeah.
A starship's a pretty expensive piece of kit. I
Yeah,
can't
it's-
imagine that there's any company.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Can't imagine there's any company just going to write it off and not even try to recover it.
Unless it was a private haulage company that literally was a one-ship operation and went bust because of this, and salvage just wasn't worth it.
Mm.
Can I, if we're just pulling up to the research station, do we need to take a quick break? Anybody need to take a break? Because we're an hour and a half in. We got another hour-ish to go.
Yep, that makes sense. We can do that.
I also realized I didn't do the sponsorship thing at the beginning, so I need to do that now.
Plan to do that now.
Hatters in the mid-roll.
So our channel is sponsored by Foundry and WorldMill. WorldMill is what we're using for hosting Foundry, so we can play together. So it's a hosting provider specifically for Foundry. So thanks to both of them. So we'll take a quick 2 or 3 minute break. Is that all right with everybody, or do you want to take a bit longer?
It's fine. 3 minutes is enough for me to do what I
Trying
need
to
to do.
calculate how fast it'll be to make a cup of tea, but I actually think I'm out of luck.
Okay.
3 minutes, 45 seconds.
I'm gonna be muting everyone, so when you come back
Yep.
on, you'll be muted, just so you're aware.
Bye,
How rude.
friendos. You do.
All right, we're back.
Okay. So you've pulled up to the remote mining station.
Is there a obvious parking platform or main entrance or hangar or whatever it is?
1 second.
Ah, he's got a tack map.
It's like
Nice.
Good lord.
okay.
Oh, it's got a shuttle. What do you know?
So where are we arriving from?
You're
South.
coming around, and you can't actually get from the south, so you actually come around a mining station from the right-hand side, and you pull up near the cargo landing pad,
Top right.
top right. In fact,
So-
you are there.
According to the specs or the procedures,
Yep.
how many people, and what do we need to do to get this thing up and running?
So you come into cargo ops. It is another huge place.
Yeah.
And you make your way through to the power plant. There's a whole bunch of procedures that you can follow on your PDA, which you can do, which won't take very long to actually start to initialize it, and it should take sort of anywhere between an hour or 3 to get everything starting to tick over. Yeah.
Some fun warning signs here.
All right. So Jack, maximum 3 hours. Yeah, we doing this?
Yeah, for sure.
Out of curiosity, can anybody else hear the Brahms lullaby?
No.
Nope.
Huh.
That's not creepy.
All right. Well, just me then.
Yeah,
Habib's audio's frozen. I'm not sure. Habib, can you hear us? I think we might be losing Habib.
Oh, it's okay.
All right.
It's a shame he's absolutely carrying us.
We'll wait for him to log back in.
Yeah. Oh, that looks better.
I'm
Yep.
sorry about that, guys.
It's fine.
right.
Can you move your mic back down again a little bit, please? Thank you.
Better.
Thank you.
Further from the pie hole.
I've got a very big pie hole. Yeah, sorry. So I was saying, Jack, if we're doing this and it's going to take 3 hours, it'll be good for myself and either Elizabeth or Kit to give the cat a once over, make sure she's good to go for the next
Sure.
leg.
Yeah. Especially since we've
yeah.
hit something.
Either way, if you want me inside or out, that's fine.
Night.
I guess I. Yeah.
Yeah, you're coming out and you're getting under with me.
What's happening with our stress levels, by the way?
Well, you're still stressed unless you can find some way of relieving your stress. So the way you do that.
Come on, get your minds out of the guts here, for fuck's sake.
From my perspective, your face is approximately 10 millimeters across, and even I saw that facial expression that you were doing. You're a dirty, dirty man.
So you should all have a signature item that you have.
That's exactly what I was thinking about.
Funny that.
And with that signature item, you can spend a bit of time to reduce your stress. If anyone has got any kind of, leading skills, that's also another way of reducing stress. Or like a pep talk with someone,
Oh, yes, please give us a pep talk.
That is another way of doing it.
Enter or anything like that.
Can I just check with
yes.
relieving stress? If we're in a safe place, we spend a full turn, which is 5 to 10 minutes, resting in a safe place.
You can lose a point.
You lose a point.
Okay, that's fine.
I'd argue that
But
just
is
traveling.
this a safe place, though?
Not yet.
Well, if you don't want to lose your stress point, that's fine. No, I mean because we've been traveling from where we hit the metal object to this research
That's true.
station has been more than 5 to 12 minutes.
For another 3 hours. So yeah.
I'd be
I'll be gentle. Yes, go on then. You'll have that. Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll let you relieve all of your stress. Unless you don't want to relieve the stress, and you're still stressed by it.
Well, obviously, I don't need to have any to roll absolute crap, so I'm totally happy to let it go.
Okay. Okay, no problem. In that case, you're all relieved of your stress. That's not a problem. And you get it. Well, we'll give you some more in a second anyway. So you make your way just outside of cargo ops.
So if Kit and Kai are working on the Snowcat with Elizabeth, then it's just Jean-Michel and I guess.
Yep.
Heading in.
That is
anybody? I guess
Elizabeth can go with you.
We've tried contacting people when we've been coming up, have we?
You have. So you've been in contact with Joey and his team, and they're actually coming up behind you. So.
What about people inside of the station?
There's no one here. You have to.
Okay. So when you said it was a lockdown, the lockdown meant that nobody was using it.
There's no one using it. So you have to go in and set it all up and start up the reactor again, so that it ticks over. So that's why it takes an hour or 3 to kind of get
right. I'm with you now. Okay. I kind of missed that it was. There was nobody in it.
There's no one here.
There are no humans. There are no humans in it.
There are no humans in it.
There's nothing in it.
That's not what the GM said.
No.
All
right.
If the other team are coming here as well, why do we need to spend the time? We're more time dependent on our endpoint than they are.
Yep.
Why don't we leave them to sort it out? They can go get the cargo.
Yeah,
afterwards.
that's a fair shout.
If that's what you would like to do, Joey is more than happy to get everything prepared for you, and you can just.
If you need to take a look at the Snowcat anyway, which I think we should do because we hit something, and there are some facilities here where there might be some more supplies, etc. I'd like to have a quick look inside and just have a quick look at not necessarily the power plant because that's going to take time to get started. We'll let the other team know that they need to get it started up. I'd like to just have a quick go down to their. Let me just have a look through the schematic.
Do not say the deep chasm. Do not go anywhere near the deep chasm.
I'm not going anywhere near any mines. I'm looking for some sort of storage facility, like the workshops maybe.
Yeah, there's the workshops.
It's kind of central. It's not far from the cargo. Cargo ops would have storage, I guess.
Yep, that's where we are now.
Where you are,
yeah. So there's not. So I guess I just pop in there and just check like the state of their supplies.
Yes.
What do these symbols mean? I don't see a key on this map.
No, there is no key. So
I'm guessing that the one of these top right in cargo ops looks a lot like
a network.
Network. So that would be mother. That's connection to the local mother.
I'm guessing the wrench is repair tools and something else is
workshops.
Is a calculator, I guess.
The calculator is
it's like
comm units.
Yeah.
The weird half and half box that you can see to the south of cargo ops is an airlock.
I didn't get that.
The little radiation symbol is for engineering.
That's fine. Yep. Cool.
What's the one that's near the power plant and it's a circle with 4 black dots in it?
That's where the footballs are kept.
Oh, yeah. Makes sense.
Let's not go through the whole key of the entire map. Yeah.
I'm sorry.
That's fine. The ones in the room that we're in, I think are okay.
Yeah,
but,
that's fine. So you kind of get out of the vehicles, trudge across the snow and ice to cargo ops, get yourself in, and you have a look around. So they've got enough supplies, you reckon, for about 30 people. For about a week, so there's plenty of supplies there.
All right, and everything's like neatly stacked, and
everything's neatly stacked. Okay. Everything's in where it's supposed to be. There's all the boxes, the units that are stored in are kind of there to kind of keep it away from frost. They're big, sort of like big, bulky things. So yeah, they're all kind of stacked in everything you possibly need. Everything's labeled out properly, exactly what you'd expect it to be that you need. So
okay, how long, Kai? How long do you need to have a look at the? I guess we're on comms the whole time as well, so I can ask.
10 minutes, unless there's a problem.
All right, fine. Yeah, all right. Then I'm not going to go any deeper.
We're waiting for the other team to get here. I don't know how long they'll be taking, but if we meet up with them, it might be worth discussing the wreck with them, or maybe show them the picture of the logo that that Jean-Michel took, and see if they heard anything about this.
Sure. So when you arrive, you have to get out of the vehicle. Those that go into cargo ops will go into the cargo ops when you search everything. So everything's covered in a thin film layer of ice. Everything is cold. It's not as cold as it is outside, but it's probably hitting 0 degrees Celsius in here. There's a couple of sort of small heaters that you can turn on that kind of just tick over, just allowing you enough to kind of take off gloves, that kind of thing. Which is fine because you have to wait anyway for the other team to arrive. On comms, you've agreed that they'll come in and they'll be the ones to set everything up.
Well, we don't actually need to wait for them, do we?
No, you don't have to wait for them.
We've got the footage from our head cams. We can just ping that to them via 1970s Bluetooth. And just basically let them know that we're going to keep going on our way, but they should get the thing started, like, up and running. Let's do that. Like, since I'm the expedition leader, right, for our group.
Yep, you are.
So I'll speak with Joey and just make sure that he's okay with that, rather than, because we're equals, sort of.
Yeah. That's fine, Jack. That's not a problem. We can get everything organized. Like you said, I agree with you. It's definitely a priority for you to get to the crew before us getting to the supplies.
Yeah.
So yes,
I've had a quick look in the cargo ops bay, and everything looks okay. Everything seems to be there.
Sure.
So yeah, we're gonna move on then. Assuming Kai's given us the green light with a minor incident we had.
He gets himself and Kit kind of underneath, hoiks the thing up as much as it'll go, and just have a quick look around, make sure nothing's actually punctured or dinged.
Check for holes.
Yep, that's fine. If you want to make an observation,
I can do that.
Is there coolant leaking?
Why is this an observation roll? I totally want this to be a heavy machinery roll.
Could be that too.
I mean, if you want to just dive in and repair it without knowing whether or not it's broken.
Look, you've seen my luck rolling.
There's no reason why you can't roll as well, because I might miss something that you get.
Oh, look at that.
That's a big roll.
What happened there?
That's fine.
Cool.
Yep, that's fine. You have a look. There's some minor damage, but nothing that you feel is going to cause any major problems.
Fine.
So yeah, that's fine.
Went out a couple of interesting or notable features while we're under there to her, like things that commonly go wrong or things that need to be whacked every now and then to get it going again.
Look, it's a hex knot.
More likely. Here's the hydraulic hose. They've got a really crap C-clip on the end of it because the bidder they went to in the end was the lowest bidder. So occasionally those guys come loose. What we normally do is we retrofit it after the fact to make it more rigid. If you come across one that hasn't had that retrofit, then quick whack with a hammer and it's good to go. Also in the cold, those braided cables, they tend to petrify a little bit and you get leaks. It's okay because you've got another 11 wheels to look after you, but
So,
and all of that makes me feel immediately less useless than I had before, and that's quite restorative.
Oh, that's cute.
You probably spend about 20 minutes, half hour, just making sure everything's okay, everything's fine. Yep, you've still got plenty of power to get there and back. That's not a problem. But I will ask you to please make a resources roll now. I've got to figure out
Oh, balls.
how that works.
Resources roll. That's
Yeah,
on our
like you-
character sheet. Yeah.
Like you would with air and water and stuff. So,
Does it come under the equipment, vehicles?
But for fuel, yeah, I'm just trying to figure out how that would work. I'm sure there's like a way of doing it just as a public role, but I don't really know what they're.
Why don't one of us just roll, like, put some
Yeah, that makes sense, actually.
put some consumables on one of our character sheets. Shall I do
That
it
makes
since
sense.
I've got mine open?
Go on then.
The viewers can see it as well. So I'll put it in
So-
power. How many dice?
6, please.
Right. So I put the 6 in there, and then I just click. If it saves it, and I think I just click. I've run out of supplies. It's telling me. Hold on.
Oh shit.
Well, that's weird. Okay.
That's weird. The entire vehicle has completely disappeared.
Yeah, poof.
Fucking
thanks.
wizards.
It says I've run out
Let
of
me just
supplies, so
have
I have to add them in my inventory probably. That's why.
Oh, hang on. just
Under
gonna-
alien equipment, let me just see if I can find something very quickly. All right, that works.
I just rolled for
Cool.
rolled for power from Kai, so it's fine.
Yeah, it gets 5 blank dices. Is that okay? Is that how it's
Yeah,
supposed
that's
to be?
fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. Well, the power was 5 for what's on. I guess
Yeah.
from the suit he's wearing. So
That'll do. So yes, you're fine for power for the vehicle. So you are good to go. So about 20 minutes, half an hour, you get back in the vehicle and off you go.
All right. Yeah.
You continue to make your way north, leaving the station behind, back into your favorite place, the Snowcat. Off for another trip. Same thing again. Do you want to just drive for 6 hours and then swap over? I mean, to be fair, she's happy to drive for an extended period of time.
yeah, we know what happens when she drives. I'm not saying it's a woman driver thing or a synthetic driver thing. I'm saying an Elizabeth thing.
Get away from my controls. Yeah, that's fine.
No, it depends. I look at the topographic map.
So
What
it's
seems to be the most challenging leg? The first leg or the second leg?
probably the second leg.
Okay, I'll tell her to drive the first patch, and in the meantime, I will take the time to kind of run over some of the systems with these guys and maybe look at a PDA and try and find this logo thing
Yeah. Okay.
and get a bit of rest so that I'm ready for that next section.
Sure. So you continue to drive while you're kind of going through the various pictures. You're kind of having a look at it. Yeah, the logo itself is odd. You probably never worked for this corporation or anything like that. It's difficult to see. You probably would really need to kind of unearth it to have a look at the actual logo. You can sort of make out maybe a bird's wing, perhaps, or something like that. And there is a flash of red on the logo, maybe, but it's difficult to tell through the ice.
What is a Google search for Red Wing logo?
Unfortunately, you don't have access to that.
No, we'll need to wait till we can talk.
Encyclopedia Britannica.
We'll need to wait till we can talk to Mother again.
Yes.
But don't suppose you've ever seen the Colonial Marines?
Yeah.
They like eagles.
They do, but it's not red. Am I correct, Ed?
You're correct.
Well, fair enough. Although if it's
Well, there is some red in there, like uniform. They have the patch with the 3.
I suppose that'll be the one and
Lines
only
going up.
military in the entire universe and the history of humanity that didn't like color red.
They love
but it's
red
definitely not
when
that.
it's spilling from the enemy.
But yeah, you spend a bit of time trying to look at that and figure out what it could be, and it helps pass the time. Definitely, the going is a lot harder. You definitely have to slow down a lot more. There's a lot of jostling and banging around, and you're actually kind of making your way over part of a crevasse as well, which doesn't really help.
Okay.
It's a bit nerve-wracking.
I guess that's why the synthetic's driving.
Indeed. She doesn't get stressed. It's okay. Yeah, it's a long old kind of bumpy, cold, howling wind of a trip. Yeah, it just seems to go on forever and ever and ever. You're kind of making your way towards the point where you're going to swap over. Kai, so you kind of like take over the controls, and she kind of takes a step back.
You know what? I'm going to take a nap. Best as I can.
Yep.
Like, to try and avoid having to think about the crevasse.
If you look out the left-hand window, you see an enormous crevasse.
Nighty-night, don't let the iceworms bite. Not having this.
If you could make another piloting roll, please.
For a second there, I thought you said piety.
Piety roll, yes.
Like, having
Well, that's
faith.
a game I'd like to play.
I believe I can help you there,
Wow.
Chris.
All those dice and no 6s.
Do you want
That's
to push
a
it?
lot of dice.
Yeah.
Oh, crap. Push, push, push.
Oh,
Good lord.
I'll do it.
That would do it.
Well, could have been worse.
Okay. Yes, you.
There's a oh shit moment. Hold on, guys. As a bit of soft snow gives way or something like that, I guess.
You kind of feel that kind of like drop elevator kind of
See,
feel.
this is because you were sarcastic about the crevasse.
Yes.
Eyes on the road, Walter Cronkite.
You tell me whether the road is out here, and I'll put my eyes on it.
Touche.
No, you're not touching me.
Not till later, anyway.
They look like I was in the Navy, but
you continue to make your way over the crevasse, and you start to see that weirdly the weather is starting to shift, and the visibility sort of like gets to sort of like 5 foot, 10 foot, 30 foot.
Good.
And the snow seems to be letting up. And every now and then you can see a patch of blue in the sky.
Hmm.
What's that?
That looks
didn't know it did that.
an ice worm.
You look at the temperatures. It's a balmy -12.
Good lord, you could almost survive in that.
That's not that cold, is it? Really?
I mean, admittedly, yes, there are colder temperatures than -12. But it will still give you frostbite.
Yeah.
And for a brief second, you can make out that massive glacier and ice shelf that's on your left and right side. You're actually effectively driving in a valley with these two huge, massive glaciers either side of you. And they're kind of meeting in the middle.
They must kind of feed into the middle and then head downhill, I guess,
Yep.
over eons.
Yes. As you're making your way along, you can then suddenly start to see that the ice that the crevasse that you're on, is giving way to bits of rock, and it's sort of starting to get a little bit more stable. You're still ploughing through snow, but you're actually beginning to get at least 50, 60, 70 meters worth of visibility, which is clear. The rest is all kind of hazy and foggy, but yeah. The glaciers are so high that the actual air is actually feeding down into it. So you've got the sort of like blanket of slightly heavier air coming down.
Can I use those successes to smoothen the ride and increase the pace?
Yeah, sure, why not?
All right.
You increase the pace and smoothen the ride. It's almost vaguely pleasant. And you suddenly start seeing parts of debris.
Oh, excellent.
We're getting close.
We must be getting there.
Someone get up on comms, open a channel, just keep it open on 16, please.
Jean-Michel, can you do that?
Yep, happy to do it. Seeing as I'm here at the computer anyway.
And
you're our contact
at the same
guy,
time,
I think, as well.
start broadcasting.
Okie dokie.
If there's anyone in range to let themselves be known.
Okay. You seem to have a clear signal, and you start to broadcast. You can't see anything at the moment, but you're broadcasting. What are you saying, Jean-Michel?
I was trying to think of what I would say if I was to do this in character, but honestly, my brain isn't working that fast at the moment.
That's all right.
So I think it's probably best if I don't try, because it's just going to be an absolute mess.
Sure. You do something fairly similar.
You know, I suppose what I'd do is I'd identify us and ask survivors of the Houston to respond if they can. If not, stay where they are and try and survive.
Mm-hmm. Okay. You do that. You kind of keep going north, and you suddenly start to see more and more bits of debris. You actually go past and see an engine. This massive piece of kit on your right hand side, which is kind of broken up.
That's definitely not supposed to come off.
Has it orientated? Obviously, it's been a debris field.
It's heading straight up towards where you're going. So it's actually come almost dead straight. So the debris field is kind of making you heading north-ish, more or less, straight towards where the two glaciers would meet.
All right. Also ping a message back to New Alaska saying we found the start of the debris field, given the coordinates.
Mm-hmm. Yep. They don't respond.
No survivors so far, but this is where it starts.
Okay. Yep. But you don't get a response from them, but you've sent them the information.
Is there an easy route? Because we've got two crevasses going alongside of us to go up to get a bit of elevation for a better point of view.
Sure. Make a piloting roll for that.
Curse you and your hubris.
All right.
Not a problem. You managed to make your way up onto a higher elevation. While you're doing that, what are the rest of you doing? Jean-Michel's on comms.
I'm gonna be kind of using the scanning facilities, like cameras, whatever we've got on the on the Snowcat, to be looking around at the various bits of debris, trying to get zoom in a bit as much as possible.
Sure.
And just identify if there's anything that looks like cargo that's like crates or whatever that might be salvageable, just to kind of identify where they might be as we're heading towards the main bit of the wreckage.
Sure. Make an observation roll. You can have an extra 2 dice from the cameras and such.
Okay. 3 successes.
Nice. You do indeed. You managed to locate some of the units. So when you were on board the ship, that whole massive hangar space was divided into 3 floors, and where all the various units were kind of put in. Some of those have kind of like fallen through. So just by chance, you happened to spot the lounge area that you shared with the other team, which is kind of like crashed into the actual ice shelf and the rock, and it's kind of split open, and you can probably make out if you had anything identifiable as one of your items. It's probably like floating in the wind, or on the snow, kind of rolling around.
Yeah. Okay.
But yes, you also noticed there's other cargo units, and they're quite large. They're sort of like 7 or 8 rooms large.
Right.
Yeah, you can see them, so you can kind of have an idea of where to send the other team.
Where there was 2 people that weren't on the EEVs. What cabins were they in?
So they were, good question. You've got the details for that. It's not these.
It's not these.
No.
Okay, so I'd like to just kind of pin them to some sort of like map that we've got.
Yeah, that's fine.
like where these things are, and send that back as a some sort of a message, so that, or like send it to Jean-Michel to transmit it back that direction, so they'll get it whenever they get it.
Yep, that makes
Good
sense.
idea.
Chris, what are you going to do?
I guess I would have used the previous stretch of sort of smooth driving to finally get some rest myself. What with all the excitement having caught up with me finally. But now that things are happening, I'll probably be stuck to whatever monitors, windows, whatever there are, because I'm like, oh, things are happening. I want to see this.
Yep. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, you also can see these large debris bits everywhere. I'm sort of. I mean, I know this is sad and dangerous and all, but oh man, this is exciting. You wouldn't have this back home.
Not like that.
Don't have spaceships that crash land on
glaciers? No.
No. It's that. Well, what do you know?
So, Kai, as you've kind of got some elevation, which has helped Jack locate all these things, you can see to the north, as you're getting towards the glaciers, what looks like a very large wreck of a space vehicle.
Right. I think I found the
what
best.
it could be.
Well, that's where most of it is. Kind of start surveying the terrain between here and there, and the and the distance.
It's pretty much what you'd expect as it is at the moment, so it's actually not too bad. Okay. It is fairly straightforward compared to the terrain you've been on. Yes, you're making your way further.
Here you go.
You can see the vehicle has crashed into the side of one of the glaciers and plowed up this massive wake of snow and ice and rock as it's kind of like hit one of the sides of the glacier and sort of scratched up the side of the glacier, so all the fresh glacier snow has come off, just exposing all of the ice, which has kind of fallen onto the vehicle and covering some of it. There doesn't appear to be any smoke. There doesn't appear to be anything like that. Everything has kind of got a frosted look to it. As you're kind of making your way closer to it, it's obviously a large space vessel, so your little truck looks quite small compared to it. And yeah, you're making your way closer and closer. You can't see anyone or anything on the vehicle. It's just buried deep into sort of like this this glacier.
Where would be the most likely or best accessible
entry point to the kind of bulk of what's intact?
So normally the best entry point for this type of vehicle would be underneath it, but underneath it is pretty much going to be covered in snow, ice, and presumably it didn't put its landing gear out, and so it's not really going to be accessible that way. So you're going to have to find some way of scaling it and getting on.
If we go down and up the other glacier and coming from the top, we can cut our way in.
You could if you could get up the glacier, but you'd have to probably climb it rather than you can't drive up into the glacier. We're talking these glaciers are.
It's a sheer
That would be
drop.
quite a
drop.
climb even in regular gravity. I'm not sure that's
Yes,
a great
exactly.
idea.
All right. Next option would be to go through the hole where the engine fell off.
That's a possibility. You could try and see if you can find a way through. That's if there's no radiation that's going to cause you a problem.
Do we
Did
know
it
that there
land
is
belly
radiation?
down or front first?
It looks like it's belly down, but it's difficult to tell until you get closer.
Sorry, Jean-Michel, you're going to say?
Do we know that the radiation is being given off by the broken engine? Do we know if the wreckage of the main body of the ship is irradiated? If we don't know, do we have a way to tell?
Your pups would be able to tell,
Great. It seems like a job for the pups then.
but you'd have to get a bit closer to obviously release them.
Yes.
Okay.
All right. Let's get closer. And we get to pup range, I guess.
Yes. You start to get closer.
Unsure what that
Is
range
Kit still with us? She looks frozen. Oh,
No.
no.
I'm just
very
listening
still.
very attentively. Well,
Yeah,
good
just
storytelling, attentive listeners.
Sorry, thank you.
look at that mental focus.
Yes. You start to drive closer to
Fifth
the
game in the weekend too. That's dedication and talent.
Whoa.
In the weekend.
Indeed,
Oh my
yeah.
God.
Yeah, you start to get closer.
I'm totally not mad.
Now, you can see on the right-hand side of the vehicle, it looks relatively intact. There are sort of like rips. There is sort of like other material that seems to have come out. You can see there's some form of liquid which is frozen in pools around the back of the vehicle.
Oh dear.
As
We
you're
should
kind of
probably go and
getting-
find out what the heck that is exactly.
As you're getting closer, you can see that the left-hand side is well and truly buried into the actual glacier. The top of it is all smashed up from the rocks and the ice that's kind of hit the top of the vehicle or the vessel. As you've kind of like turned in a semi-arc to kind of come around, so you're facing the side of the vehicle, and presumably not stay too close to the vehicle itself. I will just share with you the picture of the vehicle again.
Just FYI, Ed, my
Yes.
character sheet doesn't say what operational range the pups have,
It's fine. It's in the operational range that
and
we've
I
decided
haven't
release
had an
today.
opportunity to go and dig out the core rulebook from somewhere in my
That's
sci-fi
fine.
computer.
You've got enough range. It's fine.
Lovely.
Okay. I'll just drag you to Houston.
Ah, crap. Back here again.
Except this one's not in space.
Same shit, different planet.
Yep.
That
So
thing
you-
is really high.
Yep. So you've kind of come sort of like to sort of this sort of level. So you are about there on the pin.
Mm-hmm.
Am I missing something? Because I can only see the previous picture we had.
If I zoom out enough, I still can't see anything.
Oh, okay.
I can
Sweet.
see it.
Yeah.
Once.
I'm not getting
For the first time, it's the other way around.
not getting a tactical map. I'm just getting pictures of the outside of it and what the
Yeah,
corridors
that's
look
right.
like.
Yep, that's it. There's no inside picture yet.
Oh,
All right, okay.
then.
But can
Sorry,
you
I was-
ping again?
Yeah.
1 second.
Hold on. He's telling us porcupines. This is not the Houston. This is the Anistora.
Right.
Surprise.
I'll ping it again for you.
Oh, right.
Oh, now I see it. Lovely.
So that's
Okay,
the kind of level that you're at.
The crap wings.
Yeah, the crap wings.
Well, that's fine because the bridge is the right at the front at the bottom, isn't it?
It is. The bridge appears to be under the snow and ice, so you'll have to dig it out.
Or we just cut a hole through the side.
Or you can cut a hole through the side if you've
There must be some airlocks or EV points or whatever else.
There must be something dorsal.
Yeah, precisely.
Mhm.
The dorsal will have to get up for, and it's climbing. This will be a bitch. We want to get it at ground level.
Yeah, so you kind of like pulled up and you're kind of looking at it, trying to figure out what the best option would be to get into it.
Did the pups give anything back? Anything hazardous or
So
whatever?
you've set the pups out. The pups go wandering on to the back of the vessel. Yes, the all the fluid that's come out is a coolant,
Mhm.
which is toxic. So
Lovely.
you probably want to stay away from the back end of the vessel.
It's not flammable or explosive, is it?
It's not flammable or explosive. It's just
Oh.
toxic.
Well, thank heavens for small mercies, I suppose.
And it's frozen, so that should.
And it's frozen solid, so you're
Look.
okay.
There's never so many things that I cannot worry about this one extra as well.
So yeah, you get all the various data that the pups give you. They also start
Lovely.
to scan the outside of the vessel. So it kind of starts to build up a three-dimensional picture of your on your PDA.
Is there any information about how irradiated it is and the
Mhm.
extent of it?
So there is a mild radiation,
Okay.
but as long as you to sort of like not spend more than 2 or 3 hours here, you should be fine.
Oh, so it's the whole site mildly?
So just towards the rear and the bottom.
Ah, very good. Right.
So you should be
Okay,
fine.
so in general, we don't
that-
really want to go to the back of the ship.
That would be if all the bulkheads are intact and all the airlocks are intact. Otherwise,
Well, I mean, it's
potentially,
crashed. It's probably not going to be intact.
It would be too much to hope for.
Yeah. I think we should assume
What's the-
they won't be. Yeah.
Closest point we can get to at ground level.
so where I pinged is the closest point you can get to.
Awesome.
Um,
If no one objects, I propose I'm gonna knock, just to let people know we're here.
Okay. You get out of the
Ooh,
snowcat. No,
no.
you're gonna dunk with the
Yes.
snowcat. Okay,
Left front wheel. Donk, donk, donk.
okay, that's fine. You drive into the
The
vessel.
record, I don't think that's a good idea to intentionally crash your vehicle into a
20
crashed
tons
spaceship.
versus 2 million tons.
You'll be fine.
I'm just,
Um,
I can't see how there's any need for it. Although on the other hand, I don't know if you'd be able to make much of a noise knocking on it unless you did.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine. Dong, dong, dong. And you wait to hear a reply.
Why are you like this?
He's frozen again.
No.
Oh, you're back. You're back. All right.
Okay.
Yes, so you wait to hear from reply.
I was more kind of hoping that if anyone is conscious and alive, they'll give us some kind of visual symbol, be a blink of the navigation lights, a flare, a knockback, whatever. But more enough, it's more like announcing our presence and checking that nothing else fell loose before we actually walked on board.
Something does fall loose from the top. A load of ice and snow falls onto the top of the snowcat. But it's not large pieces of ice. They're just going to make a bit of a noise, like clang, dong on the top. But nothing of any kind of.
We're all going to
significance.
get crushed under ice and snow, and it's all going to be your fault.
All right. So the idea is the pups are going to be going in and scouting inside, right?
So currently, they're scouting the back of the vessel and making their way up and over, giving Jean-Michel a three-dimensional image of vessel. You'll need to find a way for them to get in, so you'll have to sort of like find a route, so you can kind of direct them to a certain degree. Which
they should be able to. The pups should be able to find an opening, right?
Once they've mapped it enough, they'll find an opening somewhere.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I would suggest as soon as we find an opening, that one of the pups there's two, right?
You have to, yeah.
One of the pups can continue mapping the outside, and the second one should probably go inside as soon as possible.
I think you're probably right. I don't suppose there's any way for us to make an opening where there isn't one. Like maybe there's some kind of emergency override of an airlock door.
Or if we have some sort of cutting torch or something in the snow
Yeah, you've got cutting torches and stuff.
Or maybe we could just try ramming it some more.
It's an option.
Well,
I don't think that'll work.
A cutting torch would take days through a ship's hull. If there's an airlock, we can get through. Great. If not, it'll be finding a weak point somewhere in the impact point and climbing through.
I don't think in game terms the cutting torch will. I think it's able to cut through.
You probably need something a bit more
never
hardcore, I'd imagine.
No, something else. Yeah, no, it's not. I'm thinking of Coriolis. Never mind.
Okay.
A mothership.
Oh God, yeah. Mixed up my sci-fi games. Yeah.
Disgraceful.
Yeah, so we just have to wait and see what the pups find. I think to start off with, there's no point in us getting out and wandering around out in the cold and the.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think since we'll be going for a little bit of a walk soon, we should probably all go to the toilet, have something to eat.
It's a good idea.
It's always a good idea to go before you go.
Safety we. In the meantime, we'll drive around to the kind of, I guess, the front, the bridge area, because ideally that's where everyone would have been when they did collide. So,
yeah. Okay. You make your way around to the front of the bridge.
And there's also some smaller windows directly above the bridge that could be at a breach point.
Damn it, I didn't do that.
Are there?
There are. On the floor above.
Can you play
I'm guessing it's an observation lounge or something.
Oh yeah. I thought those are lights. That's cool. Yeah.
I suppose they're whatever Ed says they are.
Damn it! What were you thinking?
There is a severe lack of windows on that vehicle.
Look, the company's not paying you to stare at the majesty of space. You can stare at the incomprehensible vastness of the glory of creation on your own dollar.
The actual it would be the cryo deck apparently, which is weird because I wouldn't know why you'd have a cryo deck with windows, but anyway.
EV escape points.
Maybe yes.
Okay, that's actually a logical response.
And that's going to be a door we can cut through easily.
Yep. Okay.
That may even be open if the EEV's got jettisoned.
Ooh, I like that idea. Indeed, yes. We'll go with that. There is an actual there are airlocks to the EVs, to the personal EVs that the crew would use. And two of them are missing.
Yeah. Bingo. There we go.
So you can do that, which you will kind of like get yourself ready. You'll have to kind of climb up there a little bit, but that's not a problem.
Bingo. Bungo.
Are there any beacons from the EEVs?
No.
Today's survival craft, as soon as they get jettisoned and start broadcasting.
No, you haven't picked anything up.
They're either far, far, far away or destroyed.
Or they're buried under a ton of ice or something to that effect.
All right, well.
I'm not a radio engineer, but It sounds like it might be a lost cause.
But you look at it, you reckon you can climb it. You could probably, someone's going to have to free climb it first.
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, okay.
Actually, she might be the person with the highest physical strength to weight ratio, so...
Well,
Yeah, she could. Yep, she's
And she can
happy.
carry a lead rope.
Sure, I can do that. That's not a problem. She
Thank you.
says. Of course, no problem, Kai.
Oh, hold on, hold on.
What do you mean, hold on? Let's just go blindly
No,
right
hold
for
on.
it.
The video's all messed up now.
Oh.
Oh,
Hold on.
bollocks. What have you done?
Habib, can you, Chris, what did you do exactly? Did you stop your video or?
I think I just stopped my computer from going to sleep.
Okay.
Did I do something?
You just changed position in Zoom, which means in the video feed you're now in position. You and
Oh crap! I'm sorry.
Habib have switched positions in the feed. And I've got all of your individual video feeds like arranged for exactly how you're sitting.
Well, this seems like a very good place for us to call it quits for this evening.
Ah!
All good.
The
joys of Zoom.
A logical place for us to call it for tonight.
Yep.
As you make as you make a good plan to get into the vehicle.
As we make a plan to send the synthetic into the vehicle.
Yeah, you go up. What?
Lovely.
We don't care. Off you go. You're expendable. But sir.
Let's go touch some frozen corpses.
No, we're gonna find some
Kids, you want to
survivors.
see a dead body?
Let's hope you find some survivors.
They're gonna be in the panic room. That's got a generator type
That
of
makes
thing.
sense. I'm just
Yes,
That
they
would
were
make sense. They would have
cheap
put
to
themselves
have
back into
those
Christ's
too.
faces.
That's true.
I was just having a quick look at I just popped over to to YouTube and looking at some of their comments. At least the comment did not hit. That is true. Not yet, anyway.
I mean, for me personally, the paranoia level is increasing rapidly.
You mean?
All right, cool. So thanks very much, Ed.
No problem.
Thanks everyone for watching. If you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button and like the video, as that helps us to grow the channel. And we will join you in 2 weeks' time for episode 3. Cool.
Amazing. Thank you very much, everyone.
Yeah, thanks everyone else.
Thanks for watching, folks.
All right.